What's going on, everyone? This is Jared Thorborne with Mindset Media Company, and I'm here with Jamie Bederak. And Jamie's taking the pleasure of sitting down with us for a few minutes. Few simple questions for her, just to pick her brain and see what she's about and how she's gotten to this point in success. So, Jamie, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Hi, nice to meet you. I am Jamie Bederak. I do commercial real estate in Miami.
Very nice.
So I had the pleasure of being invited here tonight to come to New York and experience this wonderful event. So being a part of commercial real estate for, goodness, 16 years now.
Wow.
You know, anywhere from LA.
Right.
I've been in Miami for 8 years.
Right.
And endless are bounds for me. You know, when I come here and I see commercial real estate billboards, and I'm always looking and I'm like, okay, I know what tenant could go here. And I go through my roster of people I've worked with in the past, and I'm like, hey, I actually see a location in New York.
Right.
And I'll reach out to a broker, whether it be Serhant or anyone, and I'll say, hey, I've got you a tenant for this space. Let's chat.
Right. So you're connecting the dots, you would
Very
say.
much connecting the dots. I know owners, I know builders, I know REITs. I've worked on landlord side. I've worked on tenant side.
Right.
So you name it, I have the connection.
Right. Right.
And I'm always ready to go. So even on vacation,
Right.
I don't take a
No.
vacation.
Right. Of course not. People make fun of us for that, too.
No.
They're like, why are you on your phone on vacation? We're sitting on the beach and we're on our phone.
It's something
There's
you
a
love.
reason. Right. Right.
And if you love it, you just don't stop doing it.
Right.
So even at 9 o'clock at night and you're sitting there and you come across a listing and you're like, hey, like, I actually know a really great tenant for this.
Right.
And you're texting the tenant and they're like, why are you texting me at 10 p.m.?
Right.
But they know that you're looking out for their best interest.
Right.
And you send them all the information, and by the next morning they're touring the space and they're
Right.
like, what have you done to me? I
They'll-
love this space. It's perfect. You nailed it.
Right. They're like, I'm mad that you called me at 11 o'clock at night, but
Yeah.
thank you.
Exactly.
And they say if you do what you love, you'll never work another day in your life.
100%.
Right.
100%.
So how was your experience in commercial real estate?
Oh, funny story. I actually started in anesthesia.
Wow.
So I was going to be an anesthesiologist.
Wow.
And I just did not have the vibrancy
Right.
to be able to sit there and talk to someone that could not talk back to me.
Right.
I'm someone that I'm hitting the streets. I'm traveling the world. I'm seeing what's out there.
Right.
And I want to talk to people. I want to know, what are your plans? Are you developing? Are you building new stores?
Right.
Are you doing concepts? Are you doing pop-ups? What is your plan?
Right.
Because my whole entire existence is all around building a city based on what I think it should be.
Right.
So when I was in LA, it's almost like, okay, LA is a blank canvas. I know all of these beautiful places that are either for rent or for sale.
Right.
So I would contact the tenants, and I would be honest. It's not something where I would just want to make a deal to make a deal.
Right.
I'm honest, and I'm like, you know, this is a great spot.
Right.
I see you succeeding in this spot.
Right.
And from there, those tenants tend to come back to you, and they're like,
Right.
okay, we did so well here. Where else do you see us?
Right.
So when I moved to Miami, those same tenants came back to me. Those
Right.
same developers, the same builders.
Right.
Where can we take this from here?
Right.
What is your mindset on Miami? Do we do Miami? Do we do further north?
Right.
What is going on in the Miami market? What is the rents?
Right.
So understanding that and understanding the concept of just commercial real estate sets my soul on fire.
Right.
And when I tell people that, they're like, you're truly passionate about it, aren't you?
It started with your vision for
Yeah.
that property, for that person,
Exactly.
connecting the dots,
Yeah.
and that ultimately will lead you to a deal. Now, what advice, you said that you started in anesthesiology. What advice do you have for someone like yourself who started their career in one thing and is thinking about making the jump to something else, a little bit of a risky jump, but that may lead them to success? What advice do you have for that person?
So much advice. It would take 10 more shows to actually divulge it. But my best word of advice is network.
Right.
Network with every person you know out there.
Right.
And I'm talking about when someone says, hey, my team is going bowling tonight, and
Right.
you don't like bowling? Go bowling. Figure it out. Watch
Right.
YouTube videos. Learn it.
Right.
I learned how to golf, even though I'm a horrible
Good
golfer.
for
It's
you.
more like a baseball
It's
golf.
the hardest sport in
Still fine.
in history.
It's fine. point. It gave someone everything to talk about, right?
Right.
So network.
Right.
And when you network, you find what you connect with. You find what speaks to your soul, and like I say, what sets your soul on fire.
Right.
My dad, he was in development growing up.
Mm.
My mom, she owned retail stores.
Mm.
So it was almost, I did not realize it at the time,
Right.
but I loved medical so much. I thought I wanted to do medical.
Right.
But it was almost in my blood to do commercial real estate because
Wow.
dad being a developer, mom owning retail real estate.
Right.
Combine the two, and you get something that you're just so unbelievably passionate about.
Right.
Doing it in LA, doing it in all the major cities.
Right.
LA, I've done a little bit in New York and mostly Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3 major markets that you could ever go to, and knowing how it works
Right.
and how it transforms,
Right.
but speaking to the point and knowing your stuff, because there can be anyone and everyone out there that says, hey, this market's great. You need to buy this place.
Right.
You need to lease this spot right now because they want the commission.
Right. Right.
Mine, a little bit different approach. I'll be real with you. I'll be
Right.
like, listen, I don't like the location. I think you can do a better location.
Honesty.
And I've done that so many times.
Right. Right. Right.
But when I do that, they build trust because they know I'm aware. I know market trends.
Mm-hmm.
I know buildings. I know the city.
Right.
So the city could give them such a huge financial burden because where it continues to just draw out. I actually had a tenant where it drawed out for 2 years. They didn't make money
Right.
and they were behind. And it's because they wanted a space, but they did not take my initial sight of this is not for you.
Right. Right. They didn't take your advice as the professional.
Exactly.
Why Miami? You said that the 3 big wigs in
Yes.
commercial real estate are New York, California, and Miami. So why Miami? If someone's looking to purchase a commercial building out there, why should they purchase in Miami?
Miami is so vibrant, and I almost say Miami is not even connected to the U.S. Miami is its own country in its own. So anything you hear about real estate, you automatically exclude Miami from it
Right.
because Miami is a totally different animal. And even within Miami, you can have Brickell, you can have Aventura, you
Right.
can have Miami Beach.
Right.
All are very different. You have a different target demographic. It can take you 40 minutes to get from one spot to another, even though
Correct.
it's only a few miles away.
Right.
So when you're doing an analysis of the market, the Miami market was so vibrant to me and had so much rich detail.
Right.
And I love the luxury aspect of it. One of my first deals that ever came to me just through how I talked to them and the relationship I developed was Dior.
Right.
And that was one of my favorite deals I have ever done to this day
Right.
because I was able to walk them through the entire process.
From A to Z.
A to Z. And it's not something where I'm like, okay, I lease this space.
Right.
Hands are wiped from it. No, it's something where I was like, okay, I've leased a space for you, but marketing.
Right.
I know a great team that can do all the marketing all around this area, get you on the billboards. That's going to put you even a step ahead of the rest.
Correct.
But social media, you need to make sure you have a great social media team in place and make sure you start a week out from your start date and
Right.
continue a few days after to keep the buzz rolling.
Right.
Because it's all about social media,
Right.
word of mouth, and who you know in the business.
Right. Right.
And if you don't have any of those, it's very hard to succeed.
Right.
And
So
that's why I love it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you're in control of what you can do to
Yeah.
produce. So a tip to any people out there that are in your business or any other business.
Right.
Why is social media and media that important to a business owner? Why does social media play such a crucial role in your success?
I mean, for me, it's noticing the trends, noticing the market. You know, people will spend hours a day on social media randomly scrolling. They'll have out their phone scrolling. I can guarantee you there's at least 10 people in this room
Right.
scrolling social media.
Right. I'm guilty of
Guess
it.
what? Exactly same.
Right.
It's a late night habit. It's almost like your late night snack. You sit down, you're watching Netflix, and you're scrolling social media.
Right.
So what happens if you're scrolling social media and you run across something and it's not trying to sell you something, it's trying to tell you a story. So this building, for instance, if you were trying to sell this building, you would not just bullet point, bullet point, bullet point buy it.
Right.
You would tell the story.
Right.
Do you want to own a piece of historic New York?
Right.
Do you want frontage beyond your dreams? Do you want a corner spot in the most highly trafficked spot in New York City?
Right.
Welcome. Let me show you around.
You have it.
It
there.
almost gives me goosebumps. So, like every time I talk about it. But every time you hear a real estate agent talk, commercial, residential, anything. Hi, welcome to such and such address.
Right.
That's great. That's amazing.
Right.
But tell the story.
You have to tell a story. You have to paint the picture for them to see the vision of what it
Emotional
is.
connectivity.
Attachment. Correct.
Because if you start out and you're just doing a sales pitch, guess what? Scroll.
Correct.
Or if you're watching a story, you click to go to the next story. You have to study what your people are watching on your content,
Right.
what's working and what's working, because social media is shifting all the time, whether it
Right.
be stories, whether it be reels, whether it be music in the background that you fade out.
Right.
There's so many different tricks to social media, but the key of it is your main mass is looking at social media. Who doesn't?
Right.
I
Right.
want you to name me one person that doesn't look at social media.
Right.
That's in the business.
Yes. I don't know a person that doesn't have social media. Our last
I don't think I can even name one.
last question, most important question.
Yeah.
What is one characteristic that you have that separates you from the competition and ultimately is the reason for your success?
That one's a loaded question.
Yes. Simple answer.
I think because I keep it real.
Right.
I am a people person, so if I work with you, you're part of my family, and I protect my family.
Right.
If you have a deal, and I've had brands present deals to me that they've had with other agents.
Right.
And I will be honest, that's a great deal, go for it.
Right.
Or I don't quite believe in the deal, I think you can do better.
Right.
So honesty, but also the fact that I'm Southern.
Right.
I will tell it like it is.
Right.
I'm not afraid to, and I'm not afraid to make friends with everyone
Yes.
in the room.
Right.
If you are someone and you're in the room, I'm going to come up and I'm going to say hi. I'm going to introduce myself,
Right.
tell you who I am and what I do, and try to get your info.
Right.
Because you never know who you're talking to.
Right.
You could be up against some major players in the real estate industry or any industry that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone.
Right.
It's a trickle-down effect.
Right. Right.
So if you're constantly going out there and networking,
Right.
that's your gold.
Well, when
and
you
that's
have
my gold.
That's your gold. Right.
That's
Having the
what
gift
I
of
do
gab.
all the time. I go to, if I'm invited to an event, I was invited to this event that we're sitting at 2 days ago. Actually, a little less than 2 days ago. I booked a flight, booked a hotel, arranged transportation, found my outfit,
Right.
gave my husband a heart attack for the past 2 days because it took me 2 days to really figure out what I was going to wear to this.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm like, what's the dress code? And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go in Great Gatsby.
Right. Shouts out to hubby.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another tool
Yes.
that I always say is never be the least dressed in the crowd.
Right.
Always be the most dressed, but to an extent.
Right.
Be boss, be sexy,
Right.
be casual at the same time. Be subtle,
Right.
be approachable.
Right.
Because if you're too much, people won't want to approach you.
Correct.
You
Correct.
have to give someone something
Yes.
to have them approach you.
And I'm sure another piece of your advice would be make sure that your partner is on the same page as you.
100%.
Because in our lifestyle, we are all over the place all the time.
Yes.
And that is very important to have a partner that will make sure that they support us in any place that we're in.
Fun fact, my husband, he's in the pool industry. He builds pools.
Right.
So right now, in the middle of as we speak, which is why I'm so glad I'm in New York right now, our entire house is completely torn to shambles. I was like, hey, will you hang this picture for me? And then he noticed one thing, noticed another thing, and then the next thing I know, the whole ceiling and walls are out of it. And me knowing commercial real estate and building and development,
You know what's
I'm like,
going on. Right.
I know this isn't going to take you 2 weeks. I'm going to New York for a while.
Right.
Bye.
Peace out.
So I'm like, I get to come home to a perfectly amazing house, right?
Right. Amazing. Amazing. Well,
I'm glad he supports the career, though.
That's very important. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for sitting down with us. We really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And if you could just shout out your Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is that people could follow you on, that
Yeah.
would be great.
Absolutely. My social media is Miss Specialty Retail. So I would love for you guys to follow me on Instagram. I also have a business, and that business is connecting retailers with landlords and properties all throughout the United States. And that is My Retail Reimagined.
Very nice. So make sure you guys follow. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thanks for coming along.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.